believe it.
And you can see it on YouTube. You can, if I interlace clips from this and this on YouTube, you'll be able to see it when the clips change. But that's why we do fades.
Yep.
You ever notice I do dissolve between each clip? Then you don't notice. If I were to do the jump transition, you would notice it.
That makes sense.
And this is advice to the accountant: buy a camera. It's for YouTube. I don't carry that around on vacations that much. If I'm out messing around, I take this. BB and I are just shooting videos of frogs. We take this. This sits in a pocket. You're not putting that thing in a pocket. Here, I will do this so everyone can see it. We'll videotape with this camera on
There you go.
Tom's green screen. And I will do a flip between the two videos when I edit this up, so you guys can see this thing. This thing is not really a small camera. There we go.
So that's low-end professional, essentially, for the size.
Essentially, it is a low-end professional. And I bought it right before the 4K cameras came out. I'd rather have had a 4K camera.
Yeah.
Much rather have had a 4K camera. Not that I don't think 4K is going to catch on in the United States anytime soon.
Well, it's IMAX size at that point. So essentially,
True.
that image you're doing is you could throw it on an 80-foot wall and have it look good.
True. But the reason I don't think 4K is going to catch on is bandwidth.
Yeah. Well, that's the other problem to it, too. It may have that quality, but it's that much more throughput that you got to account
Right.
for.
The video for 4K takes, I think, 10 times more bandwidth than 1080p.
Never mind the storage size on actually holding it on your drive.
Exactly. And the video clips from that thing are eating up 3 terabytes of data already, and I have to get another 3 terabyte drive soon.
Wow.
So that's going to be a lot of fun.
So even though like this camera here shoots at 1080, I always down-res that to 720 and keep those masters that I've cut, simply because the storage is that much smaller and the quality is that much negligible between the two. I mean, there's definitely a difference between 1080 and 720, but for YouTube or anything like that,
And I've never bothered with any of that.
yeah,
I just keep it all in 1080. It's time. I don't want to spend the time.
yeah,
If I had a way of batching them, where I just select all the clips and say, do this,
I just
would do it.
export it 720. I don't change my masters. Those are all still 1080. But when I export everything, I down-res it then, and then after a while, I delete all the masters and just keep the...
Gotcha. See, I haven't done any of that. I've kept all the masters. From when I first started. I have every clip from when I first started with this camera.
Wow, nice.
Now, the camera before this, I don't. And it's eaten up almost 2 terabytes of space.
I've had several drive crashes in the meantime, so a lot of my original stuff has just gone to the ether.
And I haven't had any drive crashes.
Cross your fingers, cross your fingers.
Yeah. See. Although I used to mess with mirroring.
Yeah, I've got a RAID 5 going on
RAID.
mine.
There we go. I used to made with RAIDs. And I quit. Because I had a lot of problems with Microsoft Windows and the RAID arrays not working right.
Could have been the drives themselves, but that's a technical thing. That
No, it was Vista.
yeah.
It was
Oh,
Vista.
Vista, never mind.
Yeah, I'll have to say it's Vista. Bad taste in my mouth. Very bad taste in my mouth. It's like sucking on a can of lacquer thinner. Doesn't do your body good.
Yeah, I've got Win 7 Pro on that, and then 4 terabyte drives in a RAID 5 to give me 12 total, which I'm eating up 7 or 8 already.
Way more than me. Yeah, but you use that for work.
Yeah.
You're going to eat up a lot of disk space for your work.
Yeah.
I don't. Mine's just that. I've got a 3 terabyte drive and a bunch of 2 terabyte drives. They're all single drives on my computer.
Yeah.
And I do keep a copy of all my clips for YouTube on a separate drive.
Good idea.
So if my masters all die, but the problem is all my masters from that camera are on there too. All my family photos and stuff. Yeah, I need to correct this issue and start backing that stuff up. Because that camera eats up a lot of space too.
I believe it.
That every photo taken with that 7D is at least 10 megs. Because I'm having it shooting both RAW and JPEG.
Okay.
So I'm keeping both copies. Don't know why. I never edit in RAW. I never edit the video, the photos. Anytime I put a photo up, it's just what I took. I don't have the time to learn how to edit the videos, the photos.
Right.
Because there's a steep learning curve learning Photoshop or anything like it.
Yeah, definitely takes some time.
Yes. So I just don't bother with doing touch-ups or anything. I just take a photo. If I like it, I keep it. And I've been blessed with some very nice photos. Like Tomodachi with his head in the middle of the roses. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, there's...
I put a video up of it.
Yeah. There were some good ones.
Had a lot of problems with copyright issues on YouTube with the song.
Wow.
The song came from my video editing software. Video editing software at the time said it's royalty free, and someone claimed copyright privileges on the song.
I've had that. My the 3D printer I had, those videos of just the printer making noise were labeled as copyright infringements for a while because it was so whatever it was about the algorithms, it thought that was a beat. And someone identified it as theirs, and I was like, you guys are idiots. This is a printer.
Well, I've recently found a few things out. There's a couple of places where you can get royalty-free music for YouTube videos. And there's one I go to quite often. The problem is, there's a few companies who claim those songs as theirs. Because so many people are using the royalty-free songs from the free sites that they're like, we can claim it and we get a chunk of the revenue from all these videos. As soon as you fight it, they back off the claim because they don't want YouTube banning them.
Right.
So I've had copyright problems come up 6 or 7 times with music on a few clips, and I know they're royalty free. As soon as I fight it, they drop it.
It's like on my round 2 videos, there's a little bit of sound in. I created that from like 5 or 6 different loops and clips. So that is essentially the drum beat and all that, those are made, but I then made them into my song.
Right.
On all of my round 2 videos, there's no copyrights except for one. And I fought it, and they rejected my complaint on it, despite the fact that I've got a dozen other videos with the same exact song that has no copyright claim on it at all.
So if you guys are ever wondering why there's no music on my videos, I got tired of this fight and just stripped it all out. Not to mention my spray booth videos, that music's way too loud and annoying.
See, back in the old days, I used to watch TV or listen to music while I was working and talking. So
you can't do it anymore.
Once the monetization came up, I couldn't do that. And now they'll, if it's even in the background, even though that's fair use for you, they'll still claim it and shut your sound down.
Yep.
So as a consequence, I don't listen to music or watch TV at all during the day.
I don't.
I live in a world of silence, and I've lost that creative input.
I don't listen to music while I'm working on models for the same reason.
I really miss it.
If I do, I stop it, make a video clip, and then start it.
Yeah.
There's a TV in my hobby room, and I have a nice stereo in the hobby room. No speakers hooked up to it yet because the floor issues. But I'll have to shut it down every time I make a video clip.
Yeah.
You can't have any sound in the background. Even the TV playing in the background, I have to close the door when I make a video clip. Uh-oh. Nope. Tom's camera just fell. I get the feeling I'm sharing my video footage and we're just going to put up the same video.
Nah, screw it. This thing's too loose at this point.
Yeah, I get the feeling I'm just sharing my video footage with you. Not a big deal. And probably easiest because we're both looking at this camera anyhow the whole time.
Well, in this case, I can give you a copy of all this, and if you feel like doing some crazy editing,
okay,
you can do that.
In fact, that might be the camera I almost bought when I bought this one.
Yeah, the Vixia.
Yeah.
There's like 3 models of the same thing, each with a different amount of internal memory.
Right.
One was 0, this has 8 megs, and then the other one had 16 or something.
Right, this one has 8. That thing has no internal memory.
Yeah. Probably not the 7D either.
No, neither one of them have any internal memory. But that thing will take up to 120 gigabyte SD cards.
Nice.
A lot of devices won't. And it doesn't fill up the SD cards too quickly. I'm trying to see what it says on there. It doesn't really tell me anything. Just we're halfway through the battery. Which means this thing's been running for a couple of hours.
Yeah. It's been a good afternoon. I'm glad you were able to stop by.
Oh, yeah, we got 40 minutes on this clip alone.
Yeah, it was 6 o'clock, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's 6:40 now. The wife should be showing up pretty soon. So we're going to have to wrap this up pretty soon, and we should give a tour at Tom's workstation here because I see... I'm a moderator, Scuttle Model Addict. Most of you know that. And we got a thread on there that says, show us your man cave. And I see lots of different photos of people's workspaces. And a lot of these guys have huge amounts of room for their workspaces. Tom doesn't. He's got a compact little area to work in. And this would be a good way of seeing that you don't need this huge work area.
Yeah.
On my early videos, I worked on a desk about this big.
Yeah, me too for my very first ones.
And that's where I worked. I did my painting and everything on that desk. If I had something large, I went to the kitchen table. I can't do that anymore. I'm married. Those of you guys that are married, try it. See what happens. You know you don't paint in the wife's domain. You have your own domain for that. But he's got a nice compact work area here. I take it you do electronics back there?
Yeah, the electronics there. And
working
the
here.
gluing and stuff here. And now that I've got this paint booth there. Basically, years and years ago, the way I had my computer set up, one of my friends said, "Oh, it looks like you got a command center there, like you're on the Enterprise." And I was like, that's kind of right, the way I had everything around. So that's been a design philosophy that I've tried to incorporate, where I can be working here on this, I can spin around here, and I'm on the electronics. Right there, I've got the paint. Pretty much everything is within reach. X-Acto blade right there.
Without moving very far.
Without moving. So little stuff there, all nicked around. And it's been a process over the years to really figure it out. And it changes all the time. And,
of course.
This desk used to be over there when I had the old paint booth, if I could have called it an old paint booth against the wall.
The cardboard
there.
box.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a fan in it. You live in California. You can get away with that. I live in Texas. 100 degrees with 90% humidity. You don't open the window. The second you open the window, the AC runs for an hour to compensate. He lives in California. You can open the window in the summer, and it might be cooler.
Yeah.
So it's a very different environment. You guys live here, and I see that's the wife probably here. Yeah, that's my text message, or let me see what she has to say real quick. Oh, they're on their way. So we got about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But you can do things differently. That's why I built the paint booth. I can't go outside and spray paint. It's 100 and something degrees. You go in the garage, it's 150. Great for curing paint. Honestly, I've done it. I've taken something I painted, carried down to the garage, and leave it there overnight. In the morning, it's cured no matter what it is, because it's 150 degrees in that garage. Now, at the new house, I have an attic door in the hobby room. And the attic's going to be 150 in the summer. So I can just open that door, put it in there.
Easy bake oven.
Exactly. So, Texas is a little different than where he lives in California. It's hot. So I made a paint booth. So I could paint in the house without going outside.
And with me, with apartment living, I really can't go outside because all the neighbors' cars are right there.
Right.
Or I've got a back alley there, and you really don't want to be painting in that kind of thing.
And we were commenting on that. In Texas, a car lot will be like 10 acres. Not exaggerating. There is a car lot that's on our way to Houston that's 5, though. Huge car lot.
It's amazing.
And here, we're driving to Tom's from the hotel, and I saw a 4-story car lot selling Volkswagens, where all the cars are on display on a 4-story stack. Land is at a premium in the Los Angeles area.
It's crazy.
You want to rent a business, you're going vertical or down. You're not going side by side. Texas has got so much land, they just got used to it. And this is in Los Angeles. I'm sure parts of California are like Texas.
Yeah.
California has a desert. I'm sure we can buy land in the desert pretty dang cheap.
Yeah.
Well, half of Texas is desert. West Texas, land is cheap. So the same issues apply there, but in Los Angeles, it's just so much different than in Texas.
I think initially when it was being built, like, say, 100 years ago when Hollywood first started, everything went flat and outwards. So once that hit the walls, essentially, it
Where the
started
mountains are.
rebounding back in,
Right.
and going up and down. And
Right.
as the density has increased, it's just gotten worse.
My point to all this is this. I live in an apartment. I did models in college. I could go outside because we had yards. Most apartments here have no green space.
No.
They have parking, house. That's it. That's all that's on the lot. There is no place to go. So he, again, is in a different situation.
Yeah.
So he needs this.
It's all concrete out there. That's
Yeah.
about it.
Whereas in Texas, the newer apartments are all concrete. The old ones are not.
Like concrete street, concrete foyer, concrete, just everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh,
You have
yeah.
like one bush
Yeah.
per building. There's your green. You have some of that here too.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. Everyone has a little bit of green, so it looks homey.
See, I actually say it's a lot of gray and brown out here, but there is a lot of green when you really start looking for it. It's like, oh yeah, okay.
The
there's
environment's
trees
too
right
nice.
there.
You're going to have trees.
Yeah.
Although I don't think you guys have a lot of rain.
No, not at
No,
all.
because
Last week we had some, but
This was a desert area, so all
We're
the
like-
water's pulled in from elsewhere.
yeah, we're 4 years into a drought now.
Yeah, it's starting to affect pistachio prices.
Yeah.
That does not have me happy. I like my
Pistachio,
pistachios.
almonds,
Yes,
I think, is
both
another
of 'em.
big water draw.
Both of them.
And I saw an article about that like a few weeks ago or something about how
Right.
those growers are
Yeah,
having
we
trouble.
just went way off topic. Let me get the camera off here. Now, I know some of you complain about motion sickness and my steadiness.
Whoa!
Yeah, I actually bought a shoulder rig for this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Did not bring it with me. Amazon for $20. I found a shoulder rig for this camera.
Very nice.
Very nice. Of course, I should stop recording because it don't want to come off the tripod. It's stuck. There it goes. We're free. We can fly. Now, one nice things about this camera is it has a nice... Oh, yeah, we're about out of battery on this camera. It has a nice handle on the top.
That is handy.
So I can hold it, and I can take the camera, if I really felt like it, down to the floor real easy. So we can have the Bean viewpoint. What Bean sees as he walks around in here.